It's my pleasure to introduce to you the final keynote of the day, and when we are talking about MiFID-style timestamps and how they can be used to reinforce trust in crypto. And we have Richard Hoptroff from Hoptroff Smart Timing.
Okay, well, hi there. As just said, my name's Richard Hoptroff. I started this company 10 years ago to address the timestamping requirements of mainstream finance. So let's take a look at that and why I believe that it's going to be necessary for crypto as well. So I'll just start with a video.
Back in 2015,
do we have any sound?
My partners and I decided to tackle a
Do we have
problem
sound for the
which
video?
isn't talked about very much, but that causes million-pound headaches for financial institutions worldwide every day. And that's verifiable, accurate time. Simply put, the clocks on millions of servers in thousands of data centers don't agree. Computers' clocks can vary by up to a second every 24 hours. That's huge when you compare it to the microsecond scale of financial transactions today. Banks process billions of transactions every day. Thousands of those go missing in action. If it's serious, a regulator gets involved, and it soon becomes apparent that financial institutions can't decide between them what order the events happened in, or sometimes whether they happened at all.
So to go into more detail on that, on the 6th of May 2010, the New York Stock Exchange started to behave very oddly. It was because there were lots of automatic trading, algorithms trading, and suddenly, for example, Accenture's share price went to 1 cent, and for a couple of glorious minutes, Hewlett-Packard had a market capitalization of, I think it was $114 trillion. And then this chaos continued for about half an hour, and then it suddenly went back to normal again. And to this day, nobody knows what happened. The regulators tried to analyze what was going on, but because people's clocks didn't agree, there was no sense could be made of it at all. Even to this day, we don't know what caused that. A consequence of it, though, is that the MiFID II and Consolidated Audit Trails regulations required all transactions to be timestamped to UTC, so that you could establish a sequence of events to understand what's happening in the markets, to spot fraudulent behaviour, and so on. So I believe that crypto is going to need this as well. If it's going to be become mainstream finance, it's got to adopt the same behaviours as mainstream finance. And again, it's for the same sort of applications, the most important one being trust, to make sure that people will trust blockchain because they've got a good record of what's going on. It's also important for compliance and reporting, as we heard a couple of presentations ago, that when we're doing reporting, the good timestamps are used. And it's also used, for example, to optimize trade execution. We've got over 50 enterprise customers worldwide, and 5 of those are high-frequency traders, and they're not interested in compliance. They just want to be able to trade as profitably as possible. Interestingly, we've also got 5 crypto clients as well, and they want to just adopt good behavior to build trust in their products. Now, the challenge with time synchronization is knowing exactly what the time is, and we make sure that banks' clocks are correct. How do we do that? Well, we have a global network of highly accurate clocks that are synchronized to scientific measurement institutes, and we distribute these via hubs in New York, London, and Tokyo to financial institutions and markets all around the world. And then we also have software which synchronizes the servers to make sure that when they generate timestamps, those timestamps are correct. It does alerting, reporting, and monitoring to make sure that or to give you the assurance that the clocks are correct and gives you evidence for regulators. And how is it implemented? Well, we can, as I said, if we are synchronizing the servers, then when they actually create a timestamp, we've got the record of the fact that that clock was correct at the time. So that's the implementation. It means you don't have to modify anything you currently do. It just gives you the assurance that all the timestamps you create are correct. We are also looking at using a distributed Oracle network implementation as well, which we anticipate would be ready for the end of this year. So I think I'll keep it at that. Nice brief presentation. I don't know if anybody's got any questions. Pricing. It depends what you consume. We have three products. One is just a time feed where you take the time as a PTP or NTP feed and implement the rest yourself. The second is the whole time as a service bundle. So you would take the time feed, and in addition, you would have you would have the software as well. So you've got all of the record keeping, full compliance, and so on. And then we have a third product, which is an NTP service, but that's more for synchronizing things like firewalls and switches and so on. Yes, that's true. I mean, we've performed well with the challenge of synchronizing in the cloud, which is very challenging because virtual machines can get put to sleep and wake up again. You've got to deal with that because your clock has stopped for a while. They can even wake up in a different place, which additionally makes it challenging for timekeeping. Okay.
How do you handle cybersecurity? Is this an issue? Cybersecurity, is this an issue for timestamp?
It's security. Okay, all right. Sorry, I was thinking you meant securities as in financial.
I understand. So can this be manipulated?
It'd be very difficult to manipulate because we actually send time from many sources over redundant networks. So you would have to manipulate a lot of clocks all at the same time. We send a minimum of 3 time sources to each server, and it keeps a record of how closely they agree. So it would be very difficult.
The other issue is that our software, when a clock on a server starts drifting, like slowing down, because we kind of look at the behaviour and it should behave a certain way, and if one server starts behaving a little bit slower than everything else, like about 300-400 milliseconds, then we say, why is that happening? So we will send an alert to Exchange and saying this server is behaving differently. Why? It could be because you're doing a network upgrade, which is fine, but it could be that a bug's being embedded into your system, or someone's trying to penetrate. They're changing, looking at the password and trying to configure a password and trying to get into your system. And by watching that clock drift, you're looking at the hygiene of the estate, thinking, why is this behaving differently? So if you kind of isolate that area, then you can isolate a cyber attack that's happening. So it's just another layer of security. So what we're saying is that people don't think about timing in terms of your infrastructure. So please go and talk to your organisations and ask them about this. Do you trust the clocks? A lot of people in crypto will just get free time off the internet. You
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Oh, it's much better than that. We guarantee the time accuracy to be 100 microseconds because that's what the financial regulations require. In practice, we're generally single-digit microseconds. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'm sure